Deep carbon wheels look absolutely sensational to me, but how much difference do they make to your speed? And actually, are they the best choice for your bike? Well, with the help of Hunt, I'm going to find out what speed benefit these deep wheels bring, and then we'll take a proper look at which wheel depth will be best for you. Hunt have run the numbers on this exact question, and they say that their deepest 54-58 aerodynamicist wheel will save you 5.9 watts compared to their shallowest 34 wheels. That's the average saving across the spread of your angles at 45 kilometers per hour. 5.9 watts doesn't sound like a lot, but that is actually a 7.3% saving. And let's be honest, 34mm deep carbon wheels are actually already pretty fast these days. Put these wheels up against a more basic alloy wheel, say Hunt's own 4-season Pro Disc, you might have similar stock wheels on your bike, and Hunt says the saving is over 13 watts, which is a whopping 18%. What's helping to deliver that saving is mostly the rim shape. The front is not only 54mm deep, but it is 31.7mm wide, and it's got a 22mm internal profile, which is optimized for 28 to 30mm tires. And then if we look at the rear, it's deeper, but also just a bit narrower, which is what Hunt's CFD designs and time in the GST wind tunnel determined to be the fastest solution. But what does this all mean in the real world? I want to get an idea of how much faster these deep wheels are. So that's why I've come to the very flat and lovely odd down cycle track. We're going to do some real world testing. So I'll be holding the same average power throughout, but I will be the first to admit that this isn't exactly a statistically significant test. I'm only going to do a few runs on each wheel set, and we're only on one type of terrain, which I'll come to later on. But it's nice to be able to see on what mimics real roads what a deeper wheel set can give you in terms of any kind of speed boost. You might be watching this and thinking, quite rightly, that Hunt's 45 km/h test speeds are a bit spicy. So how fast you need to ride to get the aero benefits? Well, it might surprise you, but you don't actually need to be doing Tour de France speeds. When brands launch a new bike, they often show test data with more achievable speeds to show you that their new aero mods will provide you with some sweet speed gains. But what about wheels specifically? Well, I couldn't find an answer online, so I asked Hunt directly, and they told me that it kind of does depend on the road surface conditions that you're riding and a few other factors, but typically around the 22 km/h mark is where aerodynamic drag becomes the main force that you're working against. You'll experience aero benefits at any speed, but they become more significant the faster you go. And then once you're riding above 40 km/h, say on a group ride or something, aerodynamics then is essentially the dominant factor. So even at lower speeds, you can get a time benefit, but there is more to life than just going fast on your bike, apparently. So how do you know which wheel set depth is right for you? I want to answer that by taking a look at the rest of the Hunt aerodynamicist range, because things actually start relatively shallow before moving up through a mid-depth option and finishing with the deepest wheels. There are two main differences each time we go to a different wheel set. One is tangible, but the other requires a little more feel. Let's start with the tangible difference first, the easy one. It's weight. Quite simply, the shallowest wheel set in the range is generally going to be the lightest. So this 34-34 set is going to be 124 grams lighter than the 54-58 set. But what does that actually mean? Well, for pure climbing, the shallower wheels might feel zippier on steep gradients. That lower weight is one of the reasons why we see riders using stripped down bikes and special wheels for hill climb races. But shallow wheels like this also have another benefit. With less physical material for the wind to hit, your bike won't get blown about when it's windy out. Now, deep wheels have got a lot better in recent years as rim profiles have become wider and more rounded. But If you love nothing more than climbing those hills, or you want the calmest handling wheels in gusty winds, then a shallow set of wheels would be best. Now, we've already established that deep wheels are out and out the fastest options for speedy riding, and shallow wheels are best for super steep climbs. So where do these mid-depth wheels fit in? Well, it might not surprise you to find out that they offer a little bit of both worlds, which is what makes them such a popular option on something like my Athos. And with more traditional round tube shapes, I think these wheels just look so good. It's at this point that we really need to consider what your usual rides look like. If they contain a mix of flat roads and steep climbs like mine do in the men dips, then the mid-depth wheels might not be the fastest for either the flat bit or the climbs, but they might be the best option over the whole day. So to summarize, if you just want to be fast uphill or calm handling is your priority, then pick the lightweight, shallow wheels. For a balance of speed and handling, the mid-depth wheels are best. And then if you just want to be the fastest version of you, then the deep wheels are the way to go. Okay, so we've done the runs and we've got the data. I've got a book of data, and I thought you'd like to know that my power was actually splendidly average over every run, but it was consistent. So while I might not be very fast these days, I'm at least consistently slow. The deep wheels saved 3.5 seconds over the mid section wheels and quite a bit over the shallow section wheels. 3.5 seconds might not sound like a lot, but these were 7:33, 7:35 minute runs. So if you extrapolate that over to, say, a 50-kilometer ride, well, as you can see, that time saving gets quite big. And yeah, we were looking at around a 35-kilometer/hour ride speed as well. So I'd still say that's a pretty pacey ride, but it's relatively attainable if you're in a group. But what those stats can't tell you is anything about the conditions or my ability to hold perfect power, to put that power out the same each time in the same places on the course, but also to maintain the same riding position. So with real world testing like this, you're always going to be heavily compromised, but I do still like it. And the one big takeaway for me was that all of the wheel sets felt really calm, even when there was a little bit of a wind gust, which is great news because I wouldn't feel at all scared taking out those deep wheels on even a properly windy day. So, which wheels would I actually go for? I think, being a traditionalist with my kind of round tube bike, I think these shallow wheels really do look the best, but I would definitely have the deep wheels. They seem to be the fastest, but also there is such a small weight penalty these days for those deep wheels over these. And because my 58 kilo days are well behind me now, I'm never going for pure climbing times. So these wheels, well, they'll serve some people, but they don't serve me. So the deep wheels, I think they serve me best, and I'll have a set of those, please, Hunt. Oh, you got your new wheels. Very fancy. Look at you go, but I can hear you asking, what tires do I put on them? We've got a video just for that, and it's the Jamie Williams Day, so if you preferred him over me, you can reminisce for a bit, but you're stuck with me for now. Thank you very much for watching this video all the way to the end, because that really supports the channel. If you would like to like the video, that does help us out too. We'll see you in the next one.